What's going on, everybody? It's another quick hit start sit episode brought to you by the Fantasy Chairman. My name is Ben, and I am your guide through these vast new realities. What if? Am I right? Anyway, it is week 4 of the 2021 NFL season. Week 4, we are flying through this. Feels like just yesterday I was on here giving some start sits for week 3, and we're already back here again. Had a good Thursday night game between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars putting up a fight against the Bengals there. I had them in the first half, not going to lie. But Joe Burrow, Ja'Marr Chase, Tyler Boyd, and CJ Uzomah ended up pulling it out. Man, Uzomah had himself a career day. So good on you, CJ Uzomah. It was good to see Trevor Lawrence have himself a decent fantasy game there. It wasn't great, but definitely better than the last 2 weeks. So hopefully we continue to see him on the rise. Same thing can be said for Joe Burrow there. He's looked pretty good coming off that major knee injury. So let's keep it going, boys. Keep getting out there, keep performing to the best of your ability. All right. Y'all know by now how this works. We're going to get on here, and we have scoured through the Twitterverse. We've had questions sent in and picked from some of our own fantasy matchups in here and put them all together, and now I am here to answer start-sit questions. So we've got one player or the other. Who do I put in my lineup? Well, hopefully I can help you get the confidence to make that decision going into this week. It is October 2nd, 2021. Whole lot of games tomorrow. As of this recording, there may be several questionable players that could potentially be ruled out by the time you hear this. So if that is the case, just make sure you choose the other player in that example, obviously. But let's get rolling here. We're not going to go by position or anything this week. We're just going to dive through them. And the first one that I am seeing on the board here is Sam Darnold or Ryan Tannehill. So at the quarterback position, do I play Sam Darnold or Ryan Tannehill? And going into this week, we've heard by this point, Julio Jones and A.J. Brown have both been ruled out for the Tennessee Titans with hamstring injuries. They're going up against the Jets. So, it is the Jets. So we definitely could see Tannehill have himself a game. But on the other side, we've got Sam Darnold and the Carolina Panthers going up against the Dallas Cowboys. And that's a game I think is going to end up being more of a shootout than anything. The Dallas Cowboys, high-flying offense. I think the Carolina Panthers are going to have to try and keep up. Tannehill with no Julio, no A.J. Brown. I'm not really liking it, even if it is against the Jets. So I'm going to say start Sam Darnold over Ryan Tannehill this week, and you'll feel better about how your week goes. Next matchup we've got in here, or the next start-sit question, is a couple of wide receivers, and we've got the Denver Broncos, Tim Patrick, or the New York Jets, Corey Davis. So Corey Davis, obviously on the Jets, going up against the Tennessee Titans there, and the Titans' defense is quite lackluster. Definitely going to be allowing the passing game to flourish, I believe. The Jets have looked pretty awful over the last couple of weeks. Zach Wilson in particular has been throwing a lot of interceptions. We haven't seen much from Corey Davis other than in week 1. But the Jets were going up against the Patriots with their great defense and Bill Belichick, who's always good against rookie quarterbacks. And then they went up against the Denver Broncos, who also stellar defense, and Vic Fangio is good against rookie quarterbacks. So I was recommending to not start Zach Wilson or any Jets really in particular over those last 2 weeks. But this week, I do believe we see a bounce back. The Denver Broncos are going up against the Baltimore Ravens, and I think that is actually not going to be too high scoring of an affair. I think that's going to be more of a defensive battle on that one. So in this one, I'm saying start Corey Davis over Tim Patrick. Next one we got is some tight ends here. Some tight ends that you're probably have been streaming as they were likely not drafted, but have done quite well for you over the last couple weeks. So we've got Tyler Conklin or Dawson Knox. Do I start Tyler Conklin or Dawson Knox at my tight end position? And we obviously saw Tyler Conklin go Hamboni there last week, had himself a really good game. And Dawson Knox, we've seen score a touchdown in each of the last 2 weeks, and he seems to be getting more and more involved there in Buffalo, which I love to see. Now, the Minnesota Vikings are going up against the Cleveland Browns, and earlier in the week, Conklin was dealing with the common glute elbow injury combination. Not common at all. And the Buffalo Bills are going up against the Houston Texans, Texans. And a lot of people may think that, well, Buffalo's going to get up quick and get up fast on the Houston Texans, and then they may just run the ball out. But I think that they like to throw the ball regardless of where they're at. If you just look at last week as an example, Josh Allen going to be slinging that thing, and Dawson Knox has been getting 4 to 6 targets a game each week, which you really love to see. And on the other side, Tyler Conklin, I mean, he's been getting about the same. 4 targets in the first 2 weeks, 8 targets in the third week. Caught 7 for 70 and a touchdown last week. On this one, I believe the Buffalo Bills are the better offense. Obviously, Minnesota's been tearing it up, but this is more of a gut feel because I would have them ranked pretty much back to back, and I think the Buffalo Bills being the better offense going up against the worst defense, I'm going to take the shot on Dawson Knox this week, and I'm going to ride the flames of that. But I certainly would not blame you if you decided to start Tyler Conklin if those are your options. But I would roll Dawson Knox over Conklin this week. Next one we've got here is, let's jump down to a running back question, and we've got this is a good one here: Darrell Henderson or Chuba Hubbard. Obviously, Christian McCaffrey is not starting this week, so Chuba Hubbard is going to be filling in for him for the Carolina Panthers. Again, going up against the Dallas Cowboys, and then Darrell Henderson with the Los Angeles Rams is going to be taking on, I had it. Why I'm blanking on who they're playing. Oh, the Cardinals. That's right. The Arizona Cardinals. So in this one, you're definitely going to want to keep an eye on Darrell Henderson's injury designation. They've been saying that he is likely to play. He's dealing with rib injuries. I bet they're probably going to be testing him on Sunday morning before the game and on throughout Saturday today as well. So I would just keep an eye on what they're saying about him, if he's going to be limited in his workload at all. And if that is the case, then I would go Chuba Hubbard. If they say Darrell Henderson's full go and they're just going to be playing him, then I'm going to roll with Darrell Henderson against the Cardinals. But again, just keep an eye on that injury designation, okay? Because, you don't want to get stuck with, well, we'll play him, but on a limited snap count. In that case, I'm just going to roll with Chuba Hubbard because he looked pretty good. He wasn't great by any means, but looked pretty good. Another question here is, again, with Chuba Hubbard or Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And man, in the Fantasy Chairman Dynasty League, I am trying to decide between Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Darrell Henderson in one of my running back slots there. And Chuba Hubbard is involved in both of these here, so I'll roll through and try to give my thoughts for who I'll start first. I think we saw Clyde Edwards-Helaire have a bounce back performance this last week, and I had said before last week's game that I believed Andy Reid was going to give Clyde kind of a confidence building sort of game, and I think that worked out. Even when Clyde fumbled last week, they still stuck with him. He ended up with 100 yards, a couple receptions, and a receiving touchdown. And I think they're going to continue to ride with Clyde going up against Philadelphia Eagles, which has been the 21st ranked defense against fantasy running backs so far. I believe they're going to try to continue to keep Clyde involved, and I'm going to stick with Clyde in this one. I'm just not sure that I saw enough from Chuba to make me confident enough to start him over the likes of Clyde Edwards-Helaire or Darrell Henderson. And if Henderson is full go, if they come out and they say, hey, we're not going to limit him, he's going to get the full reps throughout the entire game, then I would likely go with Darrell Henderson first, then Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and then Chuba Hubbard in that order if I had all three of them on my team and had to fill just one spot. So rolling with Darrell Henderson first, as long as they come out confidently saying he's going to play. If there's any sort of hesitation or any hint that they're going to limit Darrell Henderson's workload, then I'm going to flip-flop that, and I'm going to go Clyde first, Chuba second, Darrell Henderson third. Okay? So just pay attention to the injury updates Saturday night, Sunday morning. Okay, next one we've got, let's go to this one right here, Jakobi Meyers or Antonio Brown. So Jakobi Meyers against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or Antonio Brown against the New England Patriots. And this is an interesting one. So Antonio Brown obviously has Tom Brady there coming back to New England in what is being deemed the revenge game, the return. I have been thinking, especially if Rob Gronkowski sits out, which he is listed as doubtful for the game right now, I've been of the mindset that you are starting all three pass catchers there. You're starting Chris Godwin, you're starting Mike Evans, and you're starting Antonio Brown. Now, Jakobi Meyers, we've seen he's been getting a really good target share for the Patriots there. And I heard from Mike Clay on the Fantasy Focus football podcast talk about how Jakobi Meyers is like the wide receiver with the longest streak of catches without ever having caught a touchdown pass. He's thrown two, but he's never caught one. And I don't think he does that this week. I do think he sees his fair share of targets, but I'm going to roll with the upside of Antonio Brown in this one. I just have this feeling that Tom Brady is just going to go nuclear in this game, going back to New England. I bet all the New England fans are going to be probably cheering for Tom Brady even over their own team. But in this one, if you're deciding between Jakobi Meyers or Antonio Brown, I am rolling Antonio Brown in that one. There's another question involved with Antonio Brown here, which is Tim Patrick or Antonio Brown. And I'm going Antonio Brown here. And okay, really quick before I get out of here, just going to go lightning round in this one. Not going to give too much reasoning. Just going to list off a few questions, spit out who I think you need to start, and then send you on your way. All right, so we've got Allen Robinson or Deontay Johnson, and I'm going to say start Deontay Johnson. Antonio Brown or Michael Pittman Jr. That one, I'm rolling with Antonio Brown in that one as well. Brandon Ayuk or Corey Davis. I think Shanahanigans probably made his statement to Brandon Ayuk, and they got him involved this last week. I think they're going to continue to keep him involved, and I'm saying Brandon Ayuk over Corey Davis, though I do think Corey Davis has a decent game this week. Brandon Ayuk or Emmanuel Sanders. Man, Sanders went off last week. I am going to go with... I'm actually going to roll with Emmanuel Sanders in this one. I think the Buffalo Bills are just going to trounce the Texans, and they don't let up. They continue to throw. Devontae Smith or Michael Pittman Jr., the Eagles taking on... Oh, I just talked about it. The Chiefs. They're going to have to play keep up. I'm going to roll with Devontae Smith in this one. Derek Carr or Ryan Tannehill. Derek Carr is the passing yards leader in the NFL right now. Roll with Derek Carr. And last one that I'm going to do right here is Robert Tonyan or Dawson Knox. Man, I'm going to go with the ceiling of Robert Tonyan in this one, and I'm going to say put Robert Tonyan in over Dawson Knox. But that will do it. That's it for the quick hit start sits. Good luck this Sunday. It's week 4. If you're 0-3 right now, hang in there. Keep trying to make some moves. Do the best that you can, and really just go with your gut. If you got a feeling on a guy, put him in. Don't second guess it. I always end up losing out when I make the last minute tinkers because I'm like, I gotta move this guy. Or if I don't make the last minute tinker and I'm like, I should put him in, and I talk myself out of it. Go with your first instinct. Roll with it. You can do this. Hang in there. If you're 3-0, keep up the good fight. We've got a long season still ahead of us. Happy fantasy football. Enjoy Sunday, and we'll see you next time.
Hey, Alex.
What?
So when you're on a boat and you're on like a rocky ocean, and you're drifting out to sea, what's the best way to keep your boat like sturdy and just staying still?
Oars?
No, not even close. You throw out your anchor.
Oh, your anchor. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
You throw out your anchor. You know what I like to do to keep my podcast steady and just sturdy while everything else seems to be rocky and wavy around me?
Not oars, right?
Not oars. It's Anchor again.
Oh, okay.
That's right. Anchor.fm. Let me explain. This app is free, completely free to host your podcast on.
Like 100% free?
100% free. And you get unlimited storage for all your episodes.
Unlimited?
Unlimited.
Unlimited.
As Russell Wilson would say.
Yes.
That's right. It's also got creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer.
Well, I'm all about that.
I know. And it also distributes your podcast for you, so it can be heard on the likes of Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, all of them.
What's not to like?
It's great. You can even make money from your podcast, Alex.
And we're all about that.
And you don't need minimum listenership. So,
that's good.
That's a real good thing. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. You need to download the free Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started.
I'm getting right on it right now.
Keep your boat and your podcast sturdy.